date manipulation functions that we are going to use. Month between, add month, next day, last day, round, trunk. Month between, number of months between two dates. So month between is going to respect two arguments. Add month, add calendar month to the date. Next day is a function that will tell you the next day, it will tell you the date of the next day. Last day will tell you last day of that month, of the month. Round date and truncate date. You see this round date and truncate date. Now you now see how the system will use this round and trunk in date formatting. Let's go into the system and see practically what happened. Then I'm going to answer this question. This is a question. I'm going to write a program for this question. For example, display the employee number, hire date, number of months employed, 6 month review date, first Friday after hire date, and the last day of the hire month for all employees who have been employed for fewer than 200 months. Okay. Now we are going to use it. If you click on this snippet and you come here, you can look at date and time function. Look at what we are going to do. Look at month between. Look at add month. Look at 6 date. Are you with me? So month between is expecting how many parameters? Two arguments, date. So I'm going to say select, then I'll call the function. I'm still going to use the dual table. Month between. Month, see, it's already showing me month between. Now it's expecting, this is the syntax for it. It's expecting two arguments, and those two arguments are date, underscore between. I'll open the parentheses. So I'm going to type 6 date, month between 6 date and higher date. 6 date. Then I will supply this column, higher date, underscore higher date.
So what's this date?
I'm going to, I explained it last time. I'm going to explain it now. I explained it last time. 6 date is the system date. It's a function too. 6 date is a function that you call to show you the current date of the computer system.
Okay.
Now, what is today's date? Today is 7th of August, right? 2023. So I will say select 6 date from dual. Then I'll close it. Can you see? It's going to return today's date when I run it. Can you see that?
Okay.
6 date is a function that you call to return the date, the current date of the system. That is system date. That's the meaning of 6 date. So the system date will be returned when you call 6 date function. Are you clear now? So this my query here. Select month between 6 date higher date from employees. So what am I asking it to do? I'm asking it to tell me what is the month for each employees. How many months has each employees work in the company? That is simply what I'm saying. So I call 6 date and I call higher date. So the system is going to look at today's date and then check the date that each employee came into the company. And the system will tell me how many months that they've worked. So when I run this, look at what it's showing me. So it's showing me that, okay, now let me add one more column, which is last name. I'll add last name so that it will show me 2 columns. Last name, then 6 date. So can you see? So it's telling me that King has worked 240, approximately 242 months in the company. Select, what's the next one? Add month. Add month, add calendar month to date. Okay, let me explain something to you about what these date functions are for. You know, in the Bible, it talks about when you read the Old Testament, the Israelites, it talks about going down and going up. When God wants to tell them, when God was telling Abraham or Moses or the Israelites, when they were in Egypt, let's take that Abraham part for example. When there was famine and Abraham wanted to go to Egypt, you know, the Bible talks about going down to Egypt. Are you with me?
Yes, sir.
Then, when they were in Egypt and they were to go to Canaan, he said, "Go up to Canaan." So, in one part it will say go down, in another part it will say go up. So, what is the meaning of that go down and go up? It's simply talking about the past, the present, and the future. From the standpoint, that is the present. If the city that you are going to is behind, that is the past, so you go down. If the city that you are going to from your position is in front, that is the future. That means you are going up. So the whole concept is about a frame, a time frame, which has to do with the past, the present, and the future. Now, what all these functions are doing to you, these functions helps to spring you from your present state to the past or to the future. Add month is a function I'm going to call now to say, take me from this particular position in which I am standing. Take me into this number of months into the future. Take me into this number of months into the past. So it's a time travel device that can move you from your present state to the future or move you from your present state to the past. That is what these functions are doing. You must view, you must understand that when you sit in front of the computer system to work, you are going into a different world from your own world. From this your physical world, you are going into a different world. And when you get into that world, there are beings there, and you need these beings to navigate your way. So the beings in this world that you will need that has to do with timing are these date functions. Month between, add month, next day, last day. These are functions that will assist you as you go into that realm of these people. So you must understand them that way. That is only when these things make meaning to you. These functions are people that you are going to call to request things from them. So you are going to give them things and say, help me do this, help me do that, help me do this. You need to buy fuel from the filling station. There must be somebody you have to call to send. You need to go to the market. There has to be somebody in which you have to call to send. So that is what these functions are for. They are being written, waiting for you to use them to perform certain tasks. So add month, I'm going to use add month. Now I'm here. So select, then I'm going to say add month. See, add month will appear. It's already looking at look at the syntax of add month. It's expecting the first uh, argument as date, and it's expecting the second argument as what? Integer. Are you with me?
Yes.
So add month.
Yes.
Then I'm going to supply, um, let's say, for example, now, I'm going to select it from the dual table. Add month. Then I'll say six date. Six date is today, right? Today's date. Then I'm saying add 6 months to today's date and tell me what will be the date. So I'm going to put 6 here. 6. Then I'll close the bracket and I'll say from dual. Now, what am I saying? Tell me what the date, what is the date in 6 months' time? from today. That is what I'm saying. So uh, I want to travel to 6 months time from today. What will be the date? That is the request I'm making. So when I run this,
Yeah.
see, look at it. So 6 months from today will be 7th of February 2024. So I'm calling a function. Now I know that there is a function that can tell me the date counting 6 months from today. So I just call it add month, and then I'll supply 6 days, and I'll say in 6 months from today, what will be the date? 7th of February 2024. That's what it will be. If I change it to 3 months from today, what will it give me? 7th of November 2023. Because today is 7th. So 3 months from today is November, 7th of November. Now look at add month is the one doing that. So all I need to do is call the function, supply in with the parameters, and it will give me the answer immediately. So behind the scene is doing the job. So this add month is a program that has been written, but that program is now boxed and the name given to it as add month. That is the name. Now I told you before in my previous lecture that you can't call a doctor, and when you call the doctor, you are telling the doctor to come and nail your door, to come and fix door for you. That is the work of a carpenter, not a doctor. So when you see somebody is a doctor, we already know what the person is capable of doing. So when you call the person, is to come and treat a sick person, not to come and fix the door, because the door is a carpenter's job. So a name is what you give to a program, such that when you call that name, that program executes. So I call add and once I call add automatically knows I'm going to supply it with two arguments. So the first argument will be date, and the second argument will be integer. So I'm telling add tell me what will be the date in 3 months' time from today, and it gives me. In the employees table, we have higher date, right?
Yeah.
So now I'm going to say select last name, last underscore name, um, higher date, right? Then I'm calling add month, and I'm going to supply higher date to this instead of 6 date. I'm going to say higher date from higher date. Add 3 months to each of the higher dates for each employee. What would that be? So I'll change this one to my normal table, which is employees. Now I'm going to run this. Look at last name has appeared. This is higher date. Add month, which is this. This person was employed June 2003, 17 June 2003, right? 3 months of this person's employment will be when? 17 September 2003. That is what I'm simply doing. What is the next function? The next function is next day. Next day of the date specified. Are you with me? I just copy that question. So this is the question. Now I'm going to put it. So this is the question. I'm going to just um, um, I just turn it to comment by using this symbol, this front slash star, and then star and front slash on this other side. That automatically turn everything here to comment. When I didn't put this, you were having some keywords there showing in blue color. But now I've converted it to what? To statement. So this is a question. We are going to write a script for this question. I'm going to use this function again, next day and last day. So select next next day. Now, then I'm going to supply. I will supply 6 date, comma. Then I will type Tuesday, or let's say Friday. I have to put it in a single quote from Dual. What am I saying? What I'm simply saying is that when you look at 6 date, which is today's date, what is the date of the next Friday, counting from this 6 date, right? When I run this, look at, I'm just saying what will be the date of Friday. I'm supplying 6 dates to it, and then I'm saying what will be the date of Friday, and it gave me. Then last day, if I change this one, I will say select last day, last underscore day. I'm calling a function last day, and then I will supply. This one is just one argument that it needs, 6 date from Dual. So I'm telling it to tell me what will be the last day of this month. Today is 7th of August. So what will be the last day? If I run it,
Size wrong.
what did I type?
So I just said this last name and his date.
Ah, and you saw you brought out an error. So let's see that. Let me see. Last name invalid identifier. So that is it. So it's good. You are following me. Last day from Dual. So you see, what will be the last date of this August 31st? Because I'm saying I supply 6 dates to it, and I say, tell me 6 date is today's date. Now today's date is this month, 7th of August. What will be the last day in that month? The last day in that month is 31st of August. That is just what that function is doing. Now I have shown you all these functions. Let's answer this question. Let's write a proper script.